So, and being the actual person,
and this is your take? I thought like you were going to start the conversation, Carolyn, or somebody.
I was getting ready. Howdy, my name is Tiwa. I am a member of Power People.
Hi, I'm Carolyn. I work for the CLEO Institute and recently got together to work with Power People as well.
So we're having this heat stress workshop on July 26th at the Smith-Williams Center on 2295 Pasco Street. Carolyn, can you speak more to what's going to be involved with this?
Absolutely. A lot of people understand that summers are getting hotter, but we need to connect the dots between climate change and the industrialization and urban planning policies that have made it even more difficult, especially for urban communities. So we're going to be making those links between the larger planetary forces that are driving climate change and what people are experiencing in their day-to-day lives, and emphasizing that heat waves are actually one of the most dangerous natural disasters in terms of human health and illness and even death. So we have kits with water bottles and electrolytes and fans to help people, especially folks who work outdoors, who are housing insecure, who might be elderly or pregnant, and are extra vulnerable to heat, and to help them keep themselves and their families safe and healthy. And hopefully some of those folks will join with us to advocate for better policies, better planning around our communities to help us build climate resilience and just keep our communities safe and healthy as we experience this extreme heat here in Florida.
And I actually am very looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to people coming out, because the fact that there's also a lot of legislation and things against us that keep people outside dying in heat very often is a problem. And it's a thing that we get to talk about to people that get to come out here and then also get a way to protect themselves in this hot heat. There are places where if you have a water bottle, you will be able to get water. You will be able to get ice. But if you do not have any type of cup, it will be at least 90 degrees out. Clearly, we're getting closer to 100. And you can't get any water because you don't have 79 cents. You're asking for any type of change because 79 cents can get you some water. We're in a problem time.
Absolutely. It really illustrates how the climate crisis is an environmental issue, and it's also a humanitarian issue. And we cannot forget about the most impacted communities with any kind of legislation, with any kind of community support. We need to be taking into account and prioritizing those who are most vulnerable.
Hi, my name is Trish Brown of Power People, and I'm the Executive Director. I'm here with Carolyn Burns of CLEO, and I'm here with Tiwa of Power People. And we're here today to talk about the extreme heat stress workshop that we're doing. And it's going to be at the Smith & Williams over there on 2295 Pasco Street. And what date is that? That's July
26th.
And so we're going to be sharing resources and tools and educating folks on how to stay cool this summer and throughout the times where it doesn't even make sense that it's even hot. But we're here now. Last week, we were at 100 degrees, and it's going to get worse and worse as time goes on before we get back into September and October of the year. So we know just how critical this is when it comes down to our seniors staying cool within their homes. We know that many seniors died during hot, critical degrees as far as during the summer. But we also have marginalized and disenfranchised people in our communities that can't afford to turn on their AC because it's going to cost them a whole lot. And things are estimated during the summer as far as when it's extreme heat. So they're sitting in their homes and they're burning up. And so what it is that it's only smart and it's only morally intentional that we do come out and try to provide whatever sources and means and supplies that we can give to folks out here to protect them during these crucial state of emergency times. So during the workshop, we'll be talking about heat stress itself. What will we be giving away?
water bottles, electrolyte packets, cooling towels, information about cooling centers, places where they can access cold water or air conditioning, stuff like that.
USB rechargeable fans, like
pretty much everything that we possibly can get into the bag. That's what we're going to try to do. So I think we all experience heat stress. But this goes out not just to marginalized and disenfranchised people in our communities. This doesn't just go out to our seniors that we care so much about and we need to protect, but it's also about folks who work in these conditions. We have folks that still work on farms, and we got folks that still doing construction that have outdoor jobs. So the thing is that it's important that you all come. We're welcoming our residents to come out. And it doesn't have to be just on the south side. Come from wherever you are. And come if you know, we want you to have the information. We want you to have the resources and tools to protect yourself during these times, because we know that this is a life and death situation. And it's only going to get worse as years to come until we start working to be more accountable and intentional about our climate and our environment and how we can show up to take care of it. So I want to say, please show up. You can find CLEO on Instagram. You can find Power Up People on Instagram as well, and TikTok. And you know, as far as both of us all on TikTok. But the thing is that yes, please come out, share it with your friends, share it with your family, bring your kids, bring everyone, because it's so important that everybody gets this information. And let's start teaching the youth from a young age about how to protect themselves against heat stress, and also how they can help with our community and give back. So let's keep continuing to power up people right now.
Let's power up people right now.
I am so glad that I connected with Trish and Power Up People. There is a lot of need, but also a lot of grassroots power when it comes to Tallahassee, particularly on the south side. And we cannot solve the climate crisis if we're just writing articles and working with elected officials. We really need to get the people involved, because this is who it impacts the most. So this level of grassroots advocacy is so important, and I'm just really glad that I get to be a part of this, that CLEO gets to partner with Power Up People, and I'm really looking forward to doing more in the future for this part of town and to build climate resilience and, you know, community support and advocacy.
It's a lovely time today, luckily, because there's so many clouds out. We're in rainy season, and rainy season means that each day we get a little bit of water to come down on us and cool the heat down. If you get to have any understanding of the water cycle, you get to understand that it has to get really hot before the clouds drop all this water down. And so it figures that in this summer we're seeing a lot of, you know, small showers and doing the thing like this. That's why it's really impactful that we aren't getting help with people sitting in front of the Greyhound and they're sitting in the shade there. People are rolling their carts that they had to get from somewhere because, again, the housing crisis is only getting harder as rent gets harder here, as all of our issues interconnect more, as they try to now put a freaking war behind our back. Yes, we're still also dealing with heat. And the heat is one of the first things that we as a community can actually bring together to show that we are a community, because it doesn't require the legislators to hear us. It doesn't require us to have to march somewhere right now. It requires us to come out and say, hey, I will listen to this information so that when I see somebody asking me for 10 cents or $1, I'm able to not just give $1, but I might be able to give a freaking water bottle. And then they'll have a water bottle so that they can consistently get water.
My name is Trish Brown of Power Up People, and I'm the executive director, and I wanted to talk a little bit about heat stress. It is something very serious when it comes down to the times of the month between June, July, and August. A lot of our folks in our communities who are marginalized or disenfranchised can't afford to run their AC, and they can't afford to even buy water or any other fans or portable fans or water bottles. They can't afford it. And the thing is that, with that being said, it's really about time that we as grassroots organizers, we as community people, start to show up and help to support. You can't really count on our legislation and our city officials to get it done right now. So it's going to take us to make the change that we want in our communities. And this is why it's so important that we show up and we try to build trust within our communities. We do this by, again, staying engaged. We do this by sharing resources. We do this by sharing tools. We do this by having a takeaway for folks. But definitely understanding our lives are precious. The people and the community individuals are very precious to how we move forward. And so with that being said, it's about making change, but we can't do the change without each other. And so I'm gonna say something to all institutions, organizations. It's about time that we start showing up as a community together. No more working in silos anymore. Let's start working together to get the win. Because the thing is that when we work together, we can make it happen. That's just logic. So I'm really hoping that, as far as Power Up People and as far as CLEO and us working together will set the example, will set the stage in regards to how we can come together and we can make a difference in our community, and that we can work on building the trust in our community that we need. And once we start building the trust in our communities, then we can talk about how important it is to get out here and vote these corrupted legislators out, how we can vote these corrupted commissioners out, how we can start really looking at people in our communities and getting them to be the people, the leaders that we should uplift and be in those seats, because those are the people's seats, and we need the community people to be in them. So let's try to make a change, make a difference and make a change together. Again, it's really hot out here already, and people are struggling and people are suffering from that. City of Tallahassee itself is not putting up any moratoriums to keep people's utilities on until they can get some type of assistance. So people are in the dark right now as we speak, and that ain't right. So we have to literally start asking for, and pushing policies that will fund more sustainable and more practical programs that will help lift us up. Right now, Capital Community Action, they have 1,500 people on a waiting list, waiting to get assistance in regards to your utilities. In the mix of that, they are not even in order. There's no priority to the people who have their lights cut off. So there's people ahead that already have their lights on, but the thing is, because there's no order and there's no priority in regards to the criticalness of their situation, they have to wait. Now with 1,500 people on the waiting list, whoever's trying to sign up or apply for assistance, you will not be seen until maybe 4 weeks later, because they've just gotten into May in regards to the people who actually filled out applications in April. So make it make sense to me. It's really important that we have to start taking care of us, because even these institutions out here that really do want to help, it's just a whole huge waiting line in regards to getting assistance. And you shouldn't have to go through all the red tape just to get help. So please come out to this event, the Extreme Heat Workshop program, and definitely we want to hear your voices. We want to hear what you think and what you feel as community people, because who can more advocate for us than ourselves? So please come out. We got a whole lot to give, and we got a whole lot to teach, and we have a whole lot to talk about, and how we move together moving forward to making a difference and making a change in our communities. But let's start with trying to keep each other alive. Thank you, and let's power up people right now. And remember, who takes care of us? We take care of us.